Hello and welcome, Star Wars fans, to this week's episode of Duel of the Ranks, a show where we debate takes so hot that they'd melt a planet with twin suns. My name's Brody, and I'm joined by my co-host Christian this week as we attempt to discover what story is truly the best from a galaxy far, far away. On this week's episode, we're going to be discussing our top predictions as well as a couple of bingo cards we put together with some predictions for The Mandalorian Season 3. By the end of this episode, you're going to know where at least Christian and Amanda's not here today, so you're going to know where us two stand on where we think this upcoming season of Mando is going. And by the end of this season of Mando, depending on who wins bingo, hopefully one of us wins.
They're a winner.
We'll be able to see which one of us really does know, is in tune with all the comings of the new things with Star Wars. So
Real bragging rights.
real bragging rights. Amanda won last time, right? Was
I
it
think
Obi-Wan?
so.
Yeah, it was Obi-Wan.
Well, yeah, because we didn't really do one for Andor, right? It was just too. We said something. We had an episode talking about things that we could maybe see something going, but no one could have predicted that.
No. That was that was such a fantastic show. I didn't even know Andy Serkis was in it. So, I mean, if I knew he was in it,
He took it away.
he just stole the entire show with Kino Loy. So,
He really did.
well, how was your week, man?
Well,
It's been a week.
it's been a week. We're finally back in studio again. It's still
Were we
cold
not
weather
here? Oh
here.
yeah, we weren't all together.
Yeah,
last week.
the blizzard, but we're back together. It's colder, but it's good. We don't. It's been busy, but you?
I'm good. I do have one personal thing to say. I'm so frustrated about something right now,
Well,
and
get it off your
I need
chest.
your help. I need the audience's help. This makes no sense to me. So we're going to Star Wars Celebration,
All right.
and you know this. Right afterwards, you and I are going to Paris.
Yeah.
Well, I booked a reservation for a nice restaurant out there,
Yeah. For you
and
and I to enjoy with a glass of wine.
it'll be a great time.
Yeah.
Definitely with you, not
Talk
my wife, not anyone else.
business.
Yeah. So, all right. So I get this restaurant. I get everything booked out. Now, again, I've eaten at some fancy places, but we're going to be in Europe for a little bit.
Right.
So for that reason, I don't have the opportunity to just pack anything I want. So I'm trying to wear clothes that can kind of scale up, scale down. I actually found these awesome shoes that can be like both hiking boots and dress shoes.
Oh,
It's crazy. I know. I think they look
send
amazing.
a pair my way.
I know. I'm pretty stoked about it. I'm not going to lie. They were like half off today too. So I was super excited about that. But anyway, but for this restaurant, I'm like, okay, what do I need to wear? Because I don't want to get, these Americans who don't care about fashion, whatever. No, you can't come in.
Yeah.
So I ask them, if I wore jeans, is that okay? And they're like, as long as it is chic. That is their dress code is chic.
Le chic.
And I don't know what that means. I'm from the Midwest. My family's from Texas. I don't know how to dress chic. And I ask my wife, I'm like, are these jeans chic? She's like, no. I'm like, well, I'm glad at least you know.
Well, yeah.
At least we have a gauge for that. So now I have to find out what chic means and then start dressing that way. So, all right. That's my thing. I don't know. I was hoping you could help me.
Chic. Well, I mean, I'd say anything that gives off the vibe that looks silky is safe enough. You can just wear that wherever the heck you want. But this place has a dress code apparently, so
yeah.
I don't know, man.
You ever gone to some restaurant that said if you want to come in, you have to look chic?
Yeah, or you've got to wear shoes, a shirt. Sometimes, most of the time, you got to be clothed for these occasions.
All right.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Chic jeans. I don't know, man. Maybe drive on down to Old Navy over here.
Hold on. I asked if you ever had to go somewhere where you had to wear chic clothing, and you said, "Oh yeah, man, I got turned away because they said no shoes."
I mean, I've been to places with dress codes. Don't get me wrong, but when they specify chic, I don't think I've seen a place that
France
has specified chic.
I know, like this is its own. Yeah, I would play it safe and just wear a suit, but I'm not bringing
blazer
suit.
Maybe a blazer with
I-
the jeans,
Yeah,
and
that's
distract
not
people
chic
with the
enough.
blazer.
I looked into it. That's not chic enough.
Make the blazer pop with like big bright colors.
Man, I want you to go. You would look like the guy from Dumb and Dumber. That's what
And a
we would
cool
do.
hat.
We would go there. I'll be orange, you be blue.
Yes. Let's get the canes.
We'll get it. All right.
We've got people in the chat though.
We do.
Rural Farm Boy, welcome. Glad to see you.
Glad you're back. Glad you're back.
Sorry we were a little late on the live stream. I'm glad you were here waiting for us though.
Yes. Well, now let's not keep them waiting any longer.
Let's get right into the predictions.
Let's go right into it. Christian, you got some interesting stuff you think that's going to happen this upcoming season. So why don't you go ahead and take me through your first one, the one I'm super interested in. I wish I had thought of it myself. I really hope it happens. Talk to me through your first prediction here.
Well, one of the things, I didn't really have a lot that I was predicting of this show. And then when you asked for like 25, I was like, oh, dang, let's just start banging on all cylinders now. So the first one, what did I type? We're going to see a mythosaur.
Yeah.
Which I think probably a lot of other people want to see too, or they're thinking that we're going to see. I just think there's no better time than to do it now while it's hyped up for the live action The Mandalorian. 3rd season. With all the culture of Mandalore and Civil War or a battle just taking place and kind of setting up for someone to take the mantle, I think this is just a great time to see the mythosaur, and it would be so cool. I know it would look cool, even with, the volume that we're talking with. It's 2023. We've got great technology. It's going to look cool if we see it. I hope we see it. I don't know. What do you think of something like that?
Look, I grew up loving Godzilla, Jurassic Park, all of those things. The mythosaur looks awesome from what I've seen with pictures. So I'd be so down.
I know you're a big creature fan, big Godzilla fan. I think that's something where if we did a reaction video and if we caught something, we'd be busting these chairs.
Dude, I'd be so down. Not as down as my top prediction though.
What's yours?
I tried to be a little bit like, instead of just saying, oh, Boba Fett's going to be in the show, like I did with the Obi-Wan prediction, I tried to be a little bit more specific, make it harder on myself.
I noticed you were calling some things that I was like, well, that'd be something if it happened, at that time.
That's the whole thing. If I name a character, they got to be doing something. Otherwise, it's too easy. Now, I didn't do well last time, so maybe I shouldn't have made it harder on myself. But I said Boba Fett is sought out by Mando. That means if Boba Fett just shows up, that's not enough. That's too much of a layup. Mando's got to go out and find Boba.
Not the other way around.
Yep, because the first time around, Mando was found by Boba.
Yep.
Boba went out of his way to track him down. Now I think it's going to be reversed this season.
I mean, it makes sense. Definitely makes sense. Mando's going to bring about his own little squad. It'd be cool if Boba was willing to help him out, Kind of like the reluctant Han Solo was.
Yeah, I don't know how reluctant Boba would be. They've got a really good thing going.
They do.
When I was watching Mando season 2, I was like, wow, Boba really went above and beyond for this Mando guy.
He really did.
Like, he's like, I promised you I'm going to get the kid back. And he went and did this Bill Burr mission and all this extra stuff just out of this little passing comment.
Yeah.
So honor's a big deal with Boba.
And I know I'd love to see him too. I know I'd be remiss if you didn't put that on there, but you got to roll right into your next prediction with that.
Well, this one's this one is exactly what I said I wasn't going to do the rest of these. It's the only one where I did just this, but I said Bill Burr returns because it doesn't really matter what his character's name is. He's Bill Burr.
He's got to.
He's coming back.
I didn't think about that or predict that, but I'd welcome.
What's his name again?
Mayfield.
Not Baker.
Miggs Mayfield.
Miggs Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield, baby. No.
Old Bill Burr Baker Mayfield.
I like this comment, Rural Farm Boy. From the spoilers, he follows, in no way are we ready for season 3 of The Mandalorian. Oh yeah, Rural Farm Boy. He's got an inside track on some information.
Ooh.
It's dangerous stuff out there. We're going to stay away from that stuff, but I trust him. We are in no way ready for season 3. We'll see.
Well, that's I can guarantee you we're not ready because I've hardly watched all the trailers. And I'm over here. I had to actually, you know me, I had to research everyone's names before going into this thing tonight. I'm
What's her name? Bow Settlers of Catan?
Yep. All right, now I want to talk to you about a character you've got a prediction for this upcoming season. The Armorer.
Yes, I wrote down the Armorer dies, which I in no way hate the Armorer, but I think
it's hard to hate the Armorer.
Yeah.
What does the Armorer do, really?
Yeah, I think there's enough for writing it into this script of the show. The Armorer is going to die, and she's kind of proven to be more of that very orthodox or legalistic Mandalorian, and I think the way it's edging towards is that's not the way of Mandalore anymore, or that's not the way they want to take it, and they're just going to kill her off. But again, we could both be very totally wrong on all these things. We're just having fun speculating.
I'm not going to be wrong about any of these things.
Yeah.
I played it safe.
Yeah.
I went and I reached out to Rural Farm Boy before this thing started, and I said, hey, with your insider information, I need to make sure I don't lose to Amanda this time.
That's true.
Keep the you're not sure to yourself.
He did correct us. Mayfeld, not Field.
All right, so clearly we don't know anything.
We don't know nothing.
We don't know nothing, but we got a Star Wars pod. We're going to talk about it. We've got the tech to do a podcast. We just don't have the knowledge.
Yeah. But my Armorer dies. What about your significant character?
All right, Ahsoka Tano. Now, Boba Fett is sought out by Mando. Ahsoka Tano, it's going to be the flip of up season 2 as well. Mando went to look for her. This time around, she's going to come looking for him.
Ooh.
Ahsoka Tano comes to Mando's aid.
I like this flipping action, like the other side of the coin that you're doing for this next season. We went one way and now we're coming back.
I think it's going to go that way. And again, she can't just come out of nowhere.
No.
To see Mando. She's coming out to aid him. So if she comes for the purpose of, having a conversation, she's not coming to his aid, and that doesn't count for me. So
she might get wind of what the heck? You and Grogu are back together? What was all my work for? To get him to the right place? What? You just undid everything I did.
Exactly. Yeah. So, all right. So exactly. If it's not coming to his aid for something, whether it's a fight, bringing in bags of groceries, something, doesn't count.
Doesn't count.
So I think Ahsoka Tano is going to be in it. She's coming to his aid. Speaking of those kinds of characters, like Grogu, who you just mentioned, you got one for him.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Grogu, he's going to rule Mandalore.
This season.
He's just going to come out on top. Obviously, there's a lot of question of who's going to rule. Din Djarin, Bo-Katan.
You really believe
come back? And it's
this?
You know what? Let's just, you really right out of for the surprise. Grogu's going to come there because he left. He kind of abandoned the Jedi way. He's got his little mithril, if he stays along this path, I think by definition, we can call him a Mandalorian. He's adopted as a foundling. Yeah. I think that qualifies his resume to be a rightful ruler of Mandalore.
And first off, he'd be a really great long-term ruler. I love that you have this prediction. I don't think it's going to happen this season.
Yeah, maybe I don't believe it too much,
but long-term, someone who can live, 800, 900, something crazy like that, years.
It'd be the right thing to do.
Yeah, someone who, again, you're talking about a planet that it's just completely divided, and someone who's, age-wise, assuming he's seen the fall of Mandalore once before, come back around, already knows how they fell, was a part of getting them reestablished. If you can be a part of something for 800-900 years and bring about prosperity, a great leader. That could have a legacy impact for that planet for thousands of years.
What if they set him up to be advisor to the Mandalore for all the years to come? And so however many different leaders of Mandalore, he's just the advisor in the background.
That'd be cool. And he's also a Jedi.
Godfather. Yes.
Because he didn't want to be a Jedi. Because remember the whole thing, he didn't want to be a Jedi with Luke because he didn't want to give up his attachments.
Yeah. At that time. For now.
for now. But Rey is not abiding by that philosophy, it seems. I don't know.
I don't know.
So maybe somewhere down the road, he's like, all right, Rey's Jedi Order's pretty cool. Because at this point, he's going to be like, I don't even know,
Like, I could
60,
offer some
70.
help.
So he's still a baby.
Like, I got an army for you.
Yeah. This baby with an army.
By the, you know,
How'd that not come up in the sequels?
what, first light on the 5th day, his team rolls down the hill. Yeah, just glorious victory. What's your next prediction?
Well, I'm glad you covered that one because I think it'd be a lot of fun, but not this season. I think this is the season where we get Sabine Wren making her live action debut.
Yes, I think we've got a lot of talk. I think Sabine Wren should also. I think I wrote something about Sabine should train Din with the dark saber. I think it makes sense if you're going to bring her in. That would be kind of her connection to the show.
You think so?
I think so. I don't think this is. I think I.
That'd be kind of cool considering it's a flip again of her
Yeah.
being trained by Kanan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could work. Could work. What was your next one?
My next one, I said Mando loses the dark saber,
Oh,
so right in line
yes.
with that.
I think that's totally reasonable. That proposes a problem for the series, and then the series works on solving that problem.
Yeah. What's your next one?
What did I write down? Oh,
said
on the
Thrawn mention.
on the Grogu.
Oh no, you said learn who saves Grogu.
On the Grogu tangent. I think because we got that flashback in the trailer with the Jedi, I think it's not too far to, ask for learning who saved Grogu. Which I guess that kind of, I should have written these down differently. I did. So I predicted that. And then in my separate other prediction, I said Quinlan Voss is the one that saves Grogu. I saw that online somewhere. I can't take the originality for that one, but that'd be cool, He was name dropped in Obi-Wan, but I don't know, maybe something like that.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Learn who that individual was. You also already just leaked this out, but mention of Thrawn.
Yes, I don't think. I mean, I'm not going as far as we'll see him. I wouldn't be surprised if we did see him, but I think
I would.
I think you'd be surprised if you saw him,
unless it's like a post-credit.
Yeah, like a
Thanos
post-credit
yeah,
type thing.
yeah,
This
yeah.
is Thrawn's universe now.
Yeah.
No, I think I would at least like a mention of Thrawn. Just, I think it's appropriate. Bouncing from season 2, he's getting a little more involved. I don't want him to steal the show. We've got our own problems to worry about, but I think it'd be cool. What about you?
I mean, it'd be fine. I mean, I love Thrawn, so would not be opposed, but at the same time, as long as it doesn't detract from everything else they're building, it doesn't seem like Thrawn makes a whole lot of sense for the storyline this season.
Yeah, not too involved. Just watching from afar.
I mean, because it's very directly tied into whatever Ahsoka's doing.
Yeah.
So
sorry to cut you off. You did get very specific on your next prediction. I'm interested. What's your reasoning behind this one?
Yeah, I said Koska Reeves takes out 3 droids.
Not 2, not 4, 3.
Yeah. So Koska Reeves is a very violent person.
Yeah.
She comes in guns a-blazing a lot. And I feel like with her, taking out anyone isn't too much of a feat. And we already know we're going to have the return of some pretty famous droids this season.
Yeah.
So my call out was, I mean, if she's in the season at all, which there's a lot of folks who think she's not going to be, but
really?
if she is going to be in, then the question isn't, is she or is she not going to fight? Of course she will. It's what will she fight? So I went more niche and said droids, and I went even more specific than that and said she's going to take out 3 of them.
I'd love to see it. I'm curious, why don't people think she's going to be in this season?
Because she said she wasn't going to be.
Really? The fighter herself said that?
Yeah.
Yeah, she could be trolling us. She's going to be there.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get that.
I didn't know that. I learned something new.
Now, speaking of places we think this show is going, you think there's going to be a pretty famous homeworld we're going to
Yes.
return to.
We're gonna see Camino. I wrote Camino Cameo because it sounds cool, but it'd
Should
be.
be a band.
I think we're on the. It's not just for my own fan service, selfish fan service. We're on the subject of cloning with Dr. Pershing. It's gonna, I think, take more significance. Let's go to the heart of it all. The Kaminoans, damn good ones too.
Yeah.
Dexter said it himself.
All right. Hey, I would love to see it. When I saw that rain planet in the trailer, that's where my brain went.
Everyone's like, "Oh, Camino."
It
Like,
can't
well,
be.
it rains in other places too. But I went right there, man.
I know. That's where we're in Star Wars. We
Like,
see a rainy planet immediately. Wasn't it Bad Batch though, where they finally had the rain stop?
Yeah, there was a sunrise, a star.
That was cool.
Yeah, but you have another good one that
Yeah.
I kind of had to take that one too. Like, I agree with you.
Yeah, I said Dank Farrick. We're gonna get that quote at least by the end of episode 2. Sooner or later, it's coming out.
I just said Dank Farrick. Like, as a prediction, you got really specific, but I think that could be very well predicted accurately.
And then you had
Oh, this was a fun, crazy theory, not of my own. I don't know where. I don't know, but this was something that kind of stuck with me. Ezra and Din Djarin are brothers. Let's just see it. It'd be crazy, but it'd be a fun, it's a fun thing to theorize.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's a bit aggressive.
Can you imagine if we get into more of like an actual like origin story of Din and we're not just following his present conflict, but we start getting more of his origins,
Yeah.
like a Logan type thing.
I mean, that doesn't feel very Logan, but kind of feels a little cheap, but hey, we'll see. I do. You already talked about this. Your next prediction was Sabine trains Din.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yep.
But speaking of Din, yours.
Bo-Katan and Mando, they're gonna have a showdown this season.
Yep.
Something's gonna happen, and they are going to get into some fisticuffs.
Yeah, it's it'd be cool and weird to see if and I think I wrote something of a like with that and them having a conflict because it's set up so well with Moff Gideon introducing this conflict, like, oh no, you got to win this in combat, the Darksaber. And so I kind of piggybacking off that, they're going to have this conflict and then they're going to team up. It's Bo-Katan versus Mando.
Yep.
Something's going to resolve.
Martha?
Yeah. Martha.
Why did you say that name?
And then they're going to team up and, fight the next big baddie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with it. And speaking of baddies, you think there's going to be a Darth Revan nod this
I think there will be, I hope there would be some mention or just a nod, some little fan service about Revan, because just ingrained with the rich history of Mandalore. I think it's not too much to ask for.
Okay.
But I'm not going to be disappointed if we don't get that,
Yeah. Well, speaking of other bad things, my next prediction, I said Grogu goes dark side this season. We've hinted at it before. It's been showcased that Grogu really needs Jedi training and he walked away from it. And I think this season will be like his Force abilities you've already seen. He's so much more powerful than he was before. I would not be surprised if we see something where it's inexplicably bad. He's got all this power, no control, and it's going to be a bigger showcase to say, okay, there's got to be some sort of real training here or something, that whether it's from Din or somebody else where he's learning to not just be bad.
Yeah.
Or not just give in to his own selfish desires of whatever he wants and what's convenient with his Force powers.
Yeah. The way I can believe that is there's been that seed planted of when Ahsoka in season 2, she was like, sense much fear in you, and that's that leads to the dark side.
Yeah. So we'll see. And we already know there's going to be another Order 66 flashback. So I'm feeling like there's going to be something here that we're going to have to go through with his past.
You're predicting that one, not me. I don't know.
We
kind
both have talked about Paz Vizsla on this next one.
We did. We both have Paz Vizsla dying. I got a little more specific. Paz Vizsla is going to die by Din. But then I think I contradicted myself later on in the list, saying that Paz Vizsla was going to rescue Din Djarin. Either way, I think there's going to be some significance with Paz Vizsla and Din, because they've shown they've teamed up before, and then they dueled for the Darksaber. I think it makes sense that Paz would sacrifice himself for Din in some way later on.
Yeah.
Oh, I did right. Yeah, Paz dies saving Din, not by Din.
So look at you just trying to one-up me. All I said was Paz Vizsla dies. I left it more open, and to my defense, I was thinking it was in opposition of Mando, which I would love.
Yeah.
More Black Panther-esque, where he dies convicted of what he believes, which I think made Killmonger like a much more compelling villain.
Oh, yeah.
For that reason in that movie.
Yeah.
And I would love to see Paz Vizsla be like, no, this is my religion. This is my faith. You're breaking that. This is one of my takes later, so I'll just kind of bring this in. I think Mando at this point is going to see so many different types of Mandalorians.
Oh, yeah.
That he's going to just openly take off his helmet.
His faith will be shaken.
Yeah, and he's going to realize what matters and what doesn't. And someone like Paz Vizsla is just going to drive him up a wall. And he's going to be willing to die to murder this heretic.
I think that's what works. That's what makes the Mandalorian show so successful for Star Wars, because it harkens back to what George Lucas was getting at with like religion in Star Wars. Not one specific religion, but just the idea of religion altogether in this galaxy far, far away. And now we're exploring a very deep historical religion within, the lore of this. And now we're exploring the different sects, facets, the different, factions and doctrines of Mandalore. And that's pretty cool. And that's something awesome to tap into.
Yeah. And there's a whole lot of it.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to be getting this upcoming season, especially with another prediction you have, which completely counters your previous point. Speaking of Mandalore.
Yeah.
You think somebody else is going to rule now?
Of course. Din's going to rule Mandalore.
How many of your predictions are just somebody ruling Mandalore?
You're going to rule Mandalore, and you're going to rule Mandalore. Everyone's
Look
saying
under your
someone's
seat.
going to rule.
You're going to rule Mandalore.
Grogu was more of a very far out there, funny, comical. I could see it happening now. But the most realistic or practical, in my humble opinion, Din's got to, shows, the show is chiefly about him, but about a lot of other things. But I do want to acknowledge Rule Farm Boy commented, have heard whispers of Naboo. He's seen a photo of Mando's N1 Starfighter. Spoiler alert, turn it off. Going to Naboo. You can turn it back on.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
I don't really care about that.
Really?
No.
I like the N1 Starfighter. It's just cool to see that again.
I don't. It's like, it's fine for like those moments where you're in like fights and dogfights. Outside of that, I'm just thinking like, how uncomfortable would that be in comparison? You had like the Razor Crest. He could lay down in a bed.
I don't think, Din is one for comfort, though. Wearing that armor all the time, I really think he could care less about comfort.
Just, that looks very tight in that space.
It is small. It's a fighter.
Yeah. No bathroom breaks.
It's got a hyperdrive, though, apparently.
Yeah, but so did his other one, and he still needed a place to sleep when I believe they were going at hyperspeed. So I don't know.
I think he was sleeping in that trailer. He's just like hunched over, just sleeping in the cockpit.
Good for him.
Good for him.
I can't fall asleep in a plane.
Yeah.
Much less an N1 Starfighter.
Yeah.
No, not for me. All right.
What was the next one?
Well, I've got that the armor campaigns against Mando.
Yes, and I think that's kind of what I was thinking along how the armorer gets to dying, or how the audience gets to be okay with the armorer dying. I think we've already planted that seed of opposition between the two. But I like that. I like that, Brody.
What about you?
My next one was, oh yeah, Din saves the people at the river at Mandalore. She mentioned the river, and there are oppressed people there. I think he comes in, seeking his own forgiveness and cleansing and atonement or whatever, and there are going to be people there buried from the rubble of the destruction. He comes in with the dark saber. They see him as a savior, setting him up. He's gained more followers for his cause. I don't know. How about you? What's your next one?
I just said Dr. Pershing repents.
This is interesting. I never saw him as a redeemable character. Not that he couldn't be, but that'd be interesting.
He just seemed like this sheepish guy that never really, this was like his job.
Yeah.
But he always knew he was working for a bad employer.
Yeah.
But there was really no other way. And now he's just kind of done.
I guess he does kind of plant doubt, like at the end of season 2. I don't know what he says exactly, but he's like, reveal. I don't know. Yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah.
He repents. I didn't think of that.
You have the Din saves.
Oh yeah, we got that
the
one.
river people. And then Moff Gideon, I think they're gonna have like a real tease of the First Order
Yes.
this season, that this is where it's going.
Mm-hmm.
And that I think by the end they've said the Mandalorian, they want it to like directly tee up to the beginning of like the First Order and the sequels. So I think now is where you're gonna really start seeing that turn, that there's something bigger going on with those folks.
Yeah. I didn't get as specific. I just think there's a tease for the First Order. But yeah, I like that. Moff Gideon, forerunner the way. I wrote for my next one, we're going to visit Concordia, the place the armorer mentions in that Mandalorian episode of the Book of Boba Fett, when she talks about, like, I think their clan finding refuge on the moon of Concordia or something.
Yep.
It could be a place to gather, or I don't know, I think I saw this online somewhere, a safe haven or a meeting place to assemble the Avengers.
All right. That'd be cool. Yeah, I think I've seen that. I'd be down. Speaking of people that are fighting, I've got it here. Carson Teva is going to fight alongside Mando.
Yes. I know Brown Squadron, the hyperspace hero guys, they love seeing Carson Teva anytime they can. Oh yeah. Dude, one I saw they tweeted at him and he like acknowledged, retweeted their tweet, liked it or something. You should see it on their Twitter page. It's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
They've got it pinned up there, at least last I checked, but he's a friend of the fans. Really cool to see him.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
Oh man, you're back with your Mythosaur takes.
Yeah, it's Bo-Katan rides the Mythosaur.
I don't think you're gonna win this.
Oh man,
this bingo.
If anyone could do it, she's athletic enough to do it.
She's like the winning the Darksaber or getting the Darksaber wasn't enough. So I'm gonna get this Darksaber while fighting Mando while riding the Mythosaur.
Yes, but Mando he'll stay the ruler, and then she'll be his right hand. Executing all his orders, and she'll just ride the Mythosaur, just commanding battalions.
Okay. All right. Well, for my next one, I've said that Peli Motto is cooking or eating.
That's a good one.
That seems to kind of be her thing.
Yeah,
she's always cooking something up.
Nice comfort. I'm kind of mad I didn't think of that. That's a good one.
It's still niche.
I think you should get it. Hopefully.
I think it's gonna happen. Food's gotta be involved.
Yeah.
She's gotta be the one either eating it or cooking it. So
yeah. Oh, you gotta read your next one.
Christopher Lloyd is a droid.
Where did this pop into your mind?
Well, Christopher Lloyd is confirmed for this season.
Is he?
Yes, he is.
Man, I'm just missing all these things.
Yeah, and doing research for tonight, I looked and I saw that Christopher Lloyd is signed on for this season.
Ho, ho, ho.
Yep. I think he's going to be a droid. So Christopher Lloyd is a droid is my take.
I could picture that. And then they're going to do some fun name for the droid that's going to be a play off of his
Doc.
real life name. Yeah. It's going to be something like that.
Love it. McFly. All right. Whoa. Your next take is interesting. Plot twist.
I just like the word, the Mandalorian, the Mandalorians with the horns on the helmets, and Moff Gideon is a Mandalorian. He's secretly a Mandalorian. He's got ties to Mandalore some way, but he's a heretic. And that's why he cares so much about the Darksaber, and he wants it back. And that's where Bo-Katan and Din, after they, make up after their fight, then they fight Moff Gideon, one of the chief villains here. I don't know. It'd just be fun. It was just fun, out there prediction.
No, that'd be cool. I would dig that. That would be crazy.
I like what you wrote for this one, though.
Axe Woves.
Yeah.
Every time I see it, I want to say wolves. Axe Woves gets the axe. He didn't die that second season, and he should have.
Any particular axe, like the armorer's axe? Is that what you're thinking?
He just dies.
He just dies. Okay.
He just dies. I was being punny.
I was getting funny. Specific.
Yeah, that's too. And my axe. It's got to be Gimli.
And my axe.
If it's not the armor with an axe, he's not.
Yeah.
I'm not getting it. No, he's gonna die. Yeah. He should have died last season.
Yeah.
No. All right. We already talked about this, but hints of the First Order.
Yeah.
We dropped this already.
Then my one after that is Roger. We're gonna hear Roger because we see the B1 battle droids.
Yep.
In the background in one of the flashes of this new trailer. Speaking of droids, your prediction of that droid?
Yeah, I believe IG-11 is going to come back to life in some capacity this upcoming season,
which is crazy to think. Isn't he memorialized?
He was,
and then they just plug him back in.
Yeah,
get him going again.
Yep,
maybe
that's all they got to do. That's all they got to do. So
cool to see him again. Taika returns.
Yep. I also believe Mando is going to get a larger ship this upcoming season because there is just not enough space on that starfighter. So something bigger. He can keep starfighter
to carry all his friends.
I mean, that's kind of his old MO now, is to get bigger, better, faster, stronger.
Or what if he stays
tools
small with just his one ship and he, the loner life?
That's just lame. I mean, it looks cool, but I just don't feel like it's practical. I'm all about comfort and practicality over style now, which is why this restaurant in Paris is throwing me through loops. All right. Okay. We already talked about Pedro's face, Dang Ferrick. I think we're going to meet a new Jedi this season, and I'm not counting Quinlan Vos. It's got to be someone entirely new.
Completely new
Jedi we're going to meet this season.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm always a fan of Jedi coming on.
Yep. Ooh, I like your next one too.
Well, did we talk about Pedro's face? Yeah, we did. You're right. Yep. We did. My next one, Dave Filoni will return as an X-Wing pilot. Oh, Cold Brew.
Old Amanda
coming on. She asked a question. Christian, do you have a Kino Loy cameo on your bingo card? I wish. Should've. No, I didn't think that, but
you should have.
Oh, what a treat if we could see him again.
Oh, there's no way.
Absolutely no way.
He's too good.
He would have. You'd have to be a lot older, hobbling around. Maybe a post-credits scene where he is swimming out of the ocean onto the beach, completely out of breath, but he's an aged man.
Swim
he finally got out.
He finally, there wasn't even a prison anymore.
Yeah, it just took him that long to
make the jump.
Swim.
All right. You also had Dave Filoni returns. Mando removes his helmet right there. New spinoff.
Yes, I think we'll get a new spinoff from season 3, one that hasn't been announced yet. But I'm fine if I'm wrong. I think I'm okay with no more spin-offs. Yeah, but I could see it happening.
All right.
What do you got?
I see a Palpatine Easter egg coming in this
Oh,
season. You
Palpy.
can't really bring up the First Order now that we know what the whole First Order was about. It took them 3 movies to figure out that it was about Palpatine, but that's what they concluded. So now this whole thing has to be about Palpatine.
They got to set him up with the First Order.
Yeah, which is cool. Also, I wish that the Palpatine thing was like the first thing they had thought of, because that's really cool. If Order 66 is kill all the Jedi, Order number 1 for Palpatine is should this whole thing fail, go to the Outer Rim, regroup. Like, that's such a cool idea. So they call themselves the Order they're following, the First Order. That's so neat. I wish they would have thought of that themselves. Really?
Yeah, that's good.
There's a lot of things like that with the sequels. I'm like, wow, wouldn't that have been cool? Maybe they can do that in Mando now. They're like, hey.
I feel like maybe would Wikipedia have Order number 1 documented?
Yeah, well, Disney can rewrite that.
Yeah, we
heartbeat.
We could rewrite anything we want.
Anything, and nothing's sacred anymore.
Yeah.
All right, we already talked about Bo-Katan versus Mando. You got that. I say this one we won't know until the very end here, so it may be my downfall. But I'm going to say Luke Skywalker is not going to make an appearance this season,
which is funny. It's good that you picked a significant character and not like, Watto will not show up in this, like, of course. Yeah, you're right. But no, I think, I kind of hope he doesn't show up. I don't think we need Luke in this season. I think we've gotten what we've needed. Yeah, it's a good prediction. Amanda wrote The Book of Kino Loy. I love it.
I would watch that. All right, then I like how your last take was Bo-Katan versus Mando, the one after Bo and Mando team up, which we've already
quick
discussed.
Reconciliation.
Yeah. I think at the very end you had a Book of Boba Fett season 1 tease. I think you're gonna get a season 2 tease.
Dude, you keep living that dream, man. I don't know if they're gonna ever revive that show. I mean, I love Boba Fett, but that show is dead.
Right.
I think
they gotta make it right.
I think that horse is dead.
I don't think so.
I really think so. And if I'm wrong, we got to address it. But I think it's dead, man.
Well, I'm glad I've got it written down now.
Yeah, you got it written down.
It's official. To your credit. It's official. If it happens, I called it.
What do the listeners think? Let us know what you think about the Book of Boba Fett coming back for a season 2.
They need to make it right. It was okay. It wasn't horrible. It just was okay. They could make it great. And Star Wars is doing some pretty cool things right now. Like they're moving the right direction. The Bad Batch season 2 has been nothing short of phenomenal.
I haven't seen it yet, so I'm excited for when we rank it.
Oh, I mean, unfortunately, even if all of the episodes get really high ratings, which I wouldn't be surprised if they do, it's still not going to be a top show for us because we ranked that first season so poorly.
If we lump it with the first season, sure. But it'd be cool to see how season 2 holds up by itself and maybe gains a high rank,
As of right now, halfway through, it is up there. Definitely one of.
Wow.
I would not. It's up there with like the best for me of the Clone Wars and Rebels, like those top episodes. Most of this entire season has been that for me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Nice. Amanda says, "Let Boba retire."
Well, Disney's not going to let that happen. Boba's as green as the money he makes
to be left alive.
Yeah, he's going to be around. So,
my final prediction. This was a deep cut for the lore. We're going to get the Mandalorian's mask. Just Wikipedia it if you want to, if you don't already know. But I think we're going to get a nod to it. That'd be cool.
What is the Mandalorian's mask?
It's like the mantle, the warrior's mask. It was like a sacred, just like the Darksaber. It's a sacred heirloom almost, but it's got like the gems of Mandalore. There's a lot of history tied behind to it. And I think this is the perfect time to reveal it.
All right. Well, there's a time. It's now. Speaking of time, it's hot takes time.
Hot takes time.
Let's get it.
Don't be too proud of this podcast you've constructed. The ability to rank content is insignificant next to the power of an exceptional hot take.
It is hot takes time. I got one.
He's got one.
It's a prediction, but that's what this episode is. I think, based off of what we know, I will not be surprised if The Mandalorian Season 3, I'm going to be even more concrete and say I won't be surprised. Mandalorian Season 3, I believe, is going to be the best ranked piece of Star Wars content from all of the Disney live action TV shows when it's all said and done.
Okay. You know,
It's not competing against much right now. Even Andor, we didn't have that sky high.
you think it'll rank higher than Andor?
Well, look at our Andor scores. Andor's not that supremely high on its own.
Really?
No, it's not. The Andor's at an 80%, 80.18.
You know, it's surprising to me. It doesn't ruffle my feathers. I'm sorry, man.
Fine, I'll just take it.
You fool! Your take is milk toast.
All right, so what's your take?
Oh gosh, I really wish we had Amanda now.
You need to think of one.
But we'll document her predictions as well for all the listeners. So don't you worry. We're going to be doing some bingo. Predict hot take. Provocative. Ruffles feathers. They need to bring back Cara Dune for season 3. They got to do it. That's all I'll say.
All right. Well, that's this segment of the show.
Whoa, what? Is that not a hot take?
No, sorry, it's not.
You fool! Your take is milk toast.
Man, I really thought I was going for something provocative there.
Nah, well, Amanda wasn't here this week.
What do the comments say?
To your thing? Nothing.
All right. Well, there you have it, folks. Milk toast all around.
The land of hot takes is milk and cold today. All right, time for the last segment then. This was a fast segment.
That was good.
This is the way to trivia time!
All right, it's trivia time.
Trivia time.
The question is, what did the Emperor want, according to Obi-Wan Kenobi? A, the Millennium Falcon. B, Luke Skywalker and his abilities. C, the end of the rebellion. Or D, total domination.
Wow. I'm trying to reset to a different era time of Star Wars. I'm just gonna go with the Luke and his abilities. You said that, right?
Yeah, and that's correct.
Oh, fantastic. I will read one for you. Which actor portrayed Lobot?
Who's Lobot?
The Empire Strikes Back, Cloud City, the humanoid robot guy.
Oh,
with the disc behind his head.
I don't know.
Okay.
I'll just say B.
I know you got
started.
this. You got this, man. I know you got this.
The answer is B.
A, Julian Glover. B, Michael Sheard. C, John Hollis. D, Milton Johns.
I believe that I said B before we even said them, and I'm gonna stick with it.
You got to stick with it.
I'm gonna stick with it.
It was John Hollis.
You know
Lobot.
what?
Lobot was awesome. I had that Lego. It was really cool.
You had a Lego of that?
Yeah, man. Well, like I think one of the first ones I had as a kid, like the little dual red, I don't know, police car hovercraft from Cloud City, and it came with Lobot.
It
Lobot's
definitely
just
feels
awesome.
more like Lobot feels more like a Star Trek character than a Star Wars character.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I could see that.
Or just one of those things.
He's, Lando's right hand, right hand humanoid.
All right. Now I know. John Hollis.
Yep.
Now I know.
Just think of John.
Oh, John.
John Hollis as Lobot.
Oh, John.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that is this week's episode of Duel of the Ranks. No Amanda this week. Out of town.
Sorry, folks.
You missed out. We missed out. She'll be back next week.
Yeah.
Otherwise, yeah, we've got a whole lot of exciting stuff. Next week, we're going to have a very special guest on our show. Super excited about that. We've got some folks like Element 7, Darth Chaco coming on this upcoming season. Really excited to bring those guests on to talk about The Mandalorian Season 3 next week. Christian, are you hyped?
I'm hyped. We're going to be ranking it with folks. You're going to have numbers. They're going to pronounce Star Wars character names correctly. And yeah, it's a fun time,
That already sets them apart.
Yeah.
Not only are they going to say it correctly, they're going to know the names, which sets them apart from myself.
It's going to be fun. Yeah. Having them on, new content. It's always fun when we get new content, new Star Wars stuff. Oh, that's kind of a hot take I thought of later on. Sorry, man. I'm kind of jacking up the timeline, but
you Deadpool.
They need to release these things in theater. That's what they should do.
The Mandalorian seasons? What are you talking about?
Yeah. You can put these on Disney Plus, but I think they should release these in theater first.
Well, wouldn't it be like, how long would that be? Like 4.5 hours, 5 hours?
I think you got to think out of the box. You're going to do something new with cinema. Drop like 2 or 3 episodes for a midnight premiere in the theater. And then, I don't know, I hadn't thought much further than that. But you drop these things in theater because when Star Wars releases come, just bring it back to that nostalgia of like anticipation, going to the theater, like bringing the fans together in person rather than we're all, in our own living rooms and whatnot. You can have your own Star Wars party too, which is great. But the theater, I think we should bring that back.
I would be down for like the first 4.
Yeah. Like in one night.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's only 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
And then wait a month. So 4 weeks. So if you didn't see it in theaters, you got to wait and watch it over the course of 4 weeks on Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
And then at that point, the week it releases, the next episodes, a slew of episodes. All right, next batch of 4 come out.
All right. I think people would do it. And you can make money off this too. And it's just.
Why do you want to do that is the thing. Why do you want to leave the comfort of your home for this?
It's not that I always want to leave the comfort of my own home. I just think a big part of Star Wars was the anticipation of new Star Wars. And part of that is dressing up, going to the theater, bringing your lightsaber, your masks and stuff, and like just having fun with it, I think that was a big part of the allure for Star Wars for me. But maybe I'm just, wanting to relive old memories.
I think that's what it is. I don't want to spend all that to go see something that alternatively
I think I would rather spend money and see that than pay for a subscription. That's what I would do.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
You wouldn't watch it again and again. Just the one time.
I would buy the DVD, buy the Blu-ray.
I don't even have anything to play DVDs or Blu-rays, so.
Dude, you got to find a VHS player then.
A VHS? So I can put my Blu-ray?
VCR, baby.
All right. Take it back to the Disney. Well, cool stuff, man. Well, that's this week's episode of Duel the Rings. Go to dueltheranks.com. If you want to see anything else about all the cool things we got going on, we got our Discord, we got all our social media stuff. Everything else is on dueltheranks.com. Go there. Otherwise, we'll see you next week as we break down The Mandalorian Season 3. See you then.